Look, the crystals can sense each other.
You have one too, don't you?
My mission is to kill Chaos. That's all I know.
Me too.
Oh god, I'm gonna shit my pants! Welcome everyone, my name is Fist Truck. A very long time ago, I used to do a series called Cool Stuff. This series was 2 videos long and was about the last boss in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, and then another video was about the game Vanquish. Not that you can see it since it was the before times on this channel. The year was 2014 after all. I want to bring that back because sometimes I feel like there's some really cool shit that doesn't quite get the love that it deserves, and I wanted to talk about it. Or maybe they do, and I just want to, you know, hop on the bandwagon or something. So, without further ado, once again, my name is Fist Truck, and today, Stranger in Paradise Final Fantasy Origin NBA 2K23 222 Madden Game of the Year Edition Definitive, not that the video will be titled that, is cool stuff! Just like how hitting the subscribe button would be cool stuff. Also, checking out my second channel, Fist Truck TV. I know I bring it up every video because I'm clearly pushing it. Check it out! Just fucked up millennia. That's it. Yeah. First, I just want to talk about the story and how likable of a character Jack is. Somehow they created a personality that's like if Trapped and Godsmack managed to both simultaneously impregnate Five-Finger Death Punch at the same time.
It will remain a dream so long as I live. Who I am, I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yet, and I shit you not, by the end of the game, they miraculously managed to wrap up this whole batshit crazy plot. It's like the best kind of B-movie where it's stupid as hell, but also really fun. It isn't good, but I'll be damned if it isn't entertaining. I'm wearing pretty late to the party at this point, but just fucking look at this.
So I decided to become a sacrifice. I offered myself to the darkness and prayed to become chaos, hoping some band of heroes would defeat me, and thus bring an end to this empty dream.
Bullshit.
Just like a schlocky B-movie, by the end of it, I find myself rooting for these people, as unrelatable and anime as they are. For context, I'm not a big anime person, so when people start talking about light and darkness this much, I begin to grow lactose intolerant from the amount of cheese that's being shoved down my throat. And yes, someday that will bring me to Kingdom Hearts. Now to describe how this game plays. Simply, this shit is fun. Rather than going with a 100% critical look on this, since that would take incredibly long to describe, I'm just going to point out the things that I absolutely adore. Since they're the things that keep me playing this game, and this series is gonna be called Cool Stuff, so I just want to talk about the cool stuff. It borrows some elements from Souls-like, Sekiro being a big one. You have what equates to a stamina bar, and then you have 2 different kinds of blocks you can do. One that functions like a regular block, a la Dark Souls, which is your L1 button, and the other that's close to Sekiro, which is your circle button. Doing a last second block with L1 triggers a parry that does damage, while doing a last second block with the circle button staggers most enemies and does damage to their stamina bars, or what equates to it. You kill an enemy when either their health or stamina have been depleted, and the reason why I've went through the trouble describing this at length is that it's fucking sick. This game has an outrageous amount of jobs you could play as, and they somehow managed to make it so that almost each job has their own niche. Depending on which job you're playing, determines whether or not you're going to be using your L1 or your circle button more, and you still might go between both, but it's just one of those things that it might sound crazy right now, but if you play the game, you'll get what I mean. I get my rocks off to this shit. Like, if any of you have played Dragon's Dogma, this might remind you of that. Though unlike that game, in this one, the basic jobs are still very much viable and worth using even after you've already unlocked the advanced and expert jobs. There's just so much to experiment and play with here, and I just start fucking frothing at the mouth when it comes to this stuff. Just a real quick aside, one of the reasons I typically never like doing magic builds in games like Skyrim or Dark Souls is that it usually devolves into nothing but just spamming range spells at enemies. Yes, I know there are melee variants of it, but even then those tend to not be very exciting, though say at least Elden Ring did make some improvements in that area. Nonetheless, in this game, mages are fucking awesome. You thwack enemies with a mace and then do magic infused attacks afterwards. And if you build the right way, you can do all that and then follow up with a supercharged spell, and it's just so goddamn cool, man. Ugh. Just had to say that, but I digress. Also, sorry, one more thing. Everything in this game kicks ass in different ways, but with that being said, you could also spec out your character to fill a role. This kind of doesn't work out when you're playing alone because sometimes the AI is fucking poo-poo brain dead, but I imagine that when you're in co-op, since this game supports 3-player co-op, people can actually fill roles like DPS, tank, and support/healer. I unfortunately haven't had a chance to try this out, though I've caught glimpses of it when the AI actually does the damn thing and gives haste or defense buffs while we're fighting. Not that that happens as often as I would like. Now, when it comes to things that you fight, also cool as hell. Like, look at this. This is the first boss, and it's like, oh god, it's just the right way to make a first boss. Absolutely not a pushover, as it's getting you to engage in the game's mechanics, but at the same time, it doesn't have crazy prolonged combos or a crazy huge moveset. It's just the perfect way to ease people into the game and learning how to play it. The game does have a gear system, and I'm not gonna lie, I spend way more time in these menus than I would like to. There is an option to auto-equip the highest level gear, but it unfortunately doesn't take job affinities into consideration when doing it, that being the buffs and bonuses you get for wearing the same type of gear. However, I will say that it is incredibly satisfying when you take the time to mix and match the gear to get the best bonuses for your job. This isn't really all that important or something you have to pay attention to when playing on a lower difficulty, but still, something to keep in mind. That about sums up why I think this game is fun as a motherfucker. More importantly, I appreciate that this game does that thing where it reminds you that games can be unbridled fun. Not that every game has to give you the same experience, but I do value when a game is fun and satisfying from the start, while also being deep and challenging. When I play this game, it's not like I'm only playing it to satisfy a checklist. Now don't get me wrong, I do have things I want to accomplish in the game, constantly making my guy stronger and whatnot, but as opposed to how some other games can get, and I think we know the ones I mean, the journey is just as fun as the destination is satisfying. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, I do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Are there any cool yet underappreciated games that you would like for me to check out? Throw it in the comments and I might check them out. And who knows, they might make it into future cool stuff videos. Anywho, until next time, I've been Fist Truck, and don't forget to always wipe before you shit.